Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about my insights and thoughts about our class this semester over literature of the Islamic world. And I wanted to talk about three texts and some connections I made out of the class and kind of how they both influenced and informed each other at the same time. Well, first of all, I've never taken a class before that focuses on Middle Eastern or Islamic literature, which I thought was really interesting and really cool because I haven't had the chance to really learn about any of the history or politics, let alone literature of that area. So I really enjoyed it. The first text that I want to talk about is Intro in The Bad Girls of the Arab World, which I really loved. I thought this was just like a really great feminist inspiration, and I loved all of the readings that we had to do for it. So I have one quote from it that I want to read. It is okay. So I picked this for one of our discussions for one of the past weeks that we had, and it talks kind of about modernities. So it says, Orientalist understanding of gender in the Arab Islamic world situate the oppression of Arab women in misogynist beliefs that are thought to be fundamental to Islam and Arab societies. Such culturist analysis ignore how patriarchies practiced in the Arab world today has grown out of colonial and neo-colonial encounters with the West and the particular forms of modernity that have resulted from these encounters. That was on page 13 of my e-text, and I thought that was just really interesting and really cool because the way that we think about things in the West is inevitably going to be different, and I was pretty much aware of that to an extent before the class, but after taking the class, it was really cool just to see how this other view was so different and how it's like, yeah, we're the West and we're completely separate from that and how we have influenced and affected some of these places. I was reading for another class, Frederick Jameson's In the Mirror of Alternate Modernities, because I was looking at Japanese modernism, and kind of what I got from this whole thing then is although all the experiences that people have had are really different, it does seem to be that like the content's different but the form is still similar, and I think that's why a lot of the things that we've read seem to have kind of a universal meaning, although maybe we can't completely understand the things that some of these people have gone through or exactly where they're coming from when they're writing all these things, but I think that there is some kind of universal message that we can all sympathize with on a basic human level. So yeah, I thought that was really cool, just connections between different classes. And then the next one I really liked a lot was A Rebel in Gaza by Asmaa al-Ghoul. And this is what I wrote my paper on. It was her, and in the process of writing more about her, I found this article entitled Woman, Faith, and the Politics of Space in Israel-Palestine by Victoria Biggs. She wrote this for the Peace Review Journal. And this article talked more about the spaces that like women inhabit, and for my capstone project for my world languages and cultures major, I talked about the spaces that women inhabit in Mexico City in Mexico, from the 17th century like up until now. So that was really fascinating that we see the same theme or like occurrence happening in different places when women are being oppressed. It's they usually have something like in public spaces where they're oppressed. So here these ladies were talking about the mixed city of Haifa and how it was Israel and Palestinian women talking about how in the mixed city of Haifa they were both afraid of going out because they were scared of what men might do or say or act out if they saw how they were dressed. So I thought that was really cool, interesting, the connections that you can make just across borders between nations. And the last book that I want to talk about is Freedom Hospital. This was really cool. I'd never read a novel, I guess, like this before, but it did remind me a lot of Persepolis, which is an animated film based on a novel by Marjane Satrapi. That takes place in Iran, and it talks about her experiences before and after the Islamic Revolution. And I always wondered how reading that novel of hers might be, because it just the animation or the style was really similar to me. So I'm glad that I got to read Freedom Hospital in this way, and it was just as easy and captivating as watching the movie. So I hope maybe it can become a film. I think that would be really cool. And overall in the class, I think that one of the biggest insights I had was just how easy it could be to actually understand these concepts. They're really complex, so I know I probably just have a surface level understanding of it, but it amazed me how much more I knew than before, of course, through reading the literature, and how easy it was to kind of sympathize with these different roles that we encountered throughout the semester. And like I said before, I just feel like, especially in literature, it lends itself to a more universal meaning. So I thought that was really awesome, and I feel like literature really does capture the soul of a place really well. And now in the future, I'll be on the lookout, and I hopefully more aware, even for this class, when I was doing research for my paper, my final paper, I had to subscribe to Al-Monitor, which is a newspaper that Asmaa al-Ghoul was writing for and writes for. So that was awesome. I get emails like almost every week now about things in the Middle East that I had no idea about before, or I wouldn't have been aware of. It never would have been on my radar. And I find myself really interested in these things. So, yeah, thank you. And I look forward to hearing your comments and questions. Bye.